Hi everyone, we're back with another seamless pattern making video. If you didn't catch my video that I just uploaded, the one before this, I go over a lot of the basics of how to make a seamless pattern. So in this one, it's just going to be a continuation and we're going to make a different type of pattern. So this is what I came up with today, and I'm going to go ahead and open up my artboard. I already have it kind of prepped for you all, but I did want to show you how I add my clip art to the board. So I have my trees that I'm using for this design, and all I do is select all of them and just drag and drop them over, just like this. And then I like to just resize everything to a width of 2 inches. And there you have it. Now you can move them individually now. And you can make, any variation of a stack. But what I did to get this one is I just kind of played around with all of them and move them, around differently. If you want different heights, different spacing, you can do that. Of course, you can work with more than 4 items, or, I would say like 3 to 5 is good for this type of pattern. But since I already have this one here, that's what I'm going to be using. But once you have your spacing figured out, all you do is select all of them and group them together. There's a few ways to group. You can group by going over here to properties. There's a group button here. You can go up top to object, group there, or you can do what it says here and just do Control G. So once you select all of them and group them together, you can now move them as one object. But again, I already have the one that I like up here. So now, first things first, once you have your little group, move it to the top left corner, just a little bit off to the corner right there, like this. That looks good. And now what we're going to do is copy and paste this. Or actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to make a background first. So all I did was I used my eyedropper tool and I selected a color that way. Just so I can keep with the theme and go with the color palette, but you can choose any color that's over here as well. So once you hit the rectangle, make your square 6 by 6 inches or whatever size artboard you're working with. I like to work with 6 by 6. Now I'm going to horizontally align this and center it, and same with this button. So these 2 buttons, just make sure that it's dead in the center. Now I'm going to head over to my layers and just move it towards the back so that my trees are actually on top and you can see them. So now back to this. So we're on the top corner here. Now I'm going to do is copy and paste it. Again, you can just do Control C and then Control V, or you can go to edit and copy paste, whichever one you want to do. So now I'm going to move this one a little over here. I don't want to go too much off of here because this tree, once we move everything, is going to be over on this edge, so I'm going to move it a little further in, just like that. It's okay if we're covering these other trees, that's totally fine. So now I'm going to do the same thing, copy paste it, but this time I'm going to invert it by using this key right here, flip along the horizontal axis. And what this does is adds a little, more oomph to the design, just so not all the trees are looking the same way. So I'm just gonna kind of overlap them a little bit and go right there. And now I'm going to copy and paste again from the first row and move it below these trees. Now I want to leave a little bit of spacing here because everything from this top edge is going to move over on this side. So I don't want to I don't want to move this too further down. So believe it or not, we're almost done. So now all I need to do is move all my elements that are touching this top edge and move them down so that when this pattern repeats, it's going to be seamless. So what I do is I take my selector tool, I get everything that's touching this top black line. So I'm just select everything and I'm going to move it. I like to do Control Shift move, or you can do Object Transform move. Either one works. We're going to move it 6 inches down and we're going to copy them down there. So you can see everything from the top here that's going to get cut off is going to continue on and be seamless down here. So now we're going to do the exact same thing to the left. I always work with the top and the left because it's a lot easier to fill in the rest once we're done with this step. So again, I'm going to select everything that's touching this left black line now. Select it. And again, Control Shift M or move it. I'm going to move it horizontally 6 inches this time, vertical 0. And I'm going to copy it over. So you see we're almost done. All we need to do is now fill in this space. What I like to do is copy this one, continue it on, copy and paste, and then you just kind of move it around wherever you feel it looks best. That looks fine to me, and we're going to continue this row by copying this one. Remember, it's all just a group of 4 trees, so whichever one you select is okay. And then bam, that one looks good there too. Of course, you can always play around with it. But once you have your elements copied on over to the right and the bottom side, you can't move them anymore because they won't be seamless if you do move them. So just make sure you're happy with everything at this point. So now all that's left to do, believe it or not, is to cut out everything from the square that's outside of the square. So we're going to make another square by clicking our rectangle tool, 6 by 6, again, the size of our artboard. And now we are going to center this. Horizontal line center and vertical line center. And now all that's left to do is to select everything. I like to just do Control A and then Control 7, but if you are on an Apple device, you have to select everything like this and then hit Object, Clipping Mask, and Make. So now, bam, everything was removed from outside of our square that we put on top. Now let me do that again so you can do a little more clear what's it called, a little more clear instruction. So this square here that you see is on top of everything, right? And we do this because this is going to be our guide so that the program knows to cut everything outside of this square. So that's why it's on top. So again, if you're on Windows, that's why I like to just do Control A and then Control 7, 2 little clicks, and we're done. So now I'm going to go ahead and save this by going to File, Export, and Export As. And I'm just going to do Untitled 9 for this. You can see the one that I previously made is right there. We're going to do Untitled 9. You can, of course, give it like a proper name, you know. And make sure that your color mode, again, is CMYK, maximum quality, maximum resolution. Hit OK, and now it is saved. Now I also want to give you guys another pointer is make sure you save it as an actual, what's the word? As an actual AI file, meaning the Illustrator file, just so you have it, the original as the backup in case you ever need to adjust anything or you want to work off of this again and kind of see what you did. You can repeat the same steps. So now I'm going to head on over to my handy dandy little website over here to show you all what it looks like once it's repeated. Is my internet okay? Okay, yeah. So now I'm going to upload it. And I'm just uploading the pattern that we made, which is Untitled 9. Bam, right there. Open that puppy up. I have permission. If you didn't watch my previous video, I talked about how your clip art needs to have free commercial use, or the license has to say something along the lines of commercial use if you're going to be using it for your shop or to sell any products for that matter. So here's what our pattern looks like. I'm very happy with how it turned out, and it was easy peasy. So here is the pattern again. This is what it looks like. As far as scaling goes, this scaling, remember, is 6 by 6 and each tree is 2 inches wide. So if that works for you, if you're making, I feel like that would work perfectly for clothes. If you want to, you know, smaller trees, if you want to go bigger, of course you would scale bigger. But I think in general, this is a good size to start off with and to scale for your items. So that is it for me, and I hope this video was helpful. If you have any additional questions, do let me know, and if you have any video ideas, let me know those as well. Alright, catch y'all in the next video.